Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pub Suds and Grubs presents The Speakeasy. We've got our guest host here today,
Hey,
Jay.
Ken.
What's up, Jay?
How are you?
And Jay made me very happy today because he brought a nice collab from who?
So it's District 96 and Other Half collab.
All right.
It's coming in though at 10%.
What?
It's a little strong, but
When Jay brings beers, he goes hard, huh?
it's called All Snake Everything.
All right.
Great brewery. Should we take a sip?
Absolutely.
Are you going to mention, is anybody missing?
Yes. Do we have to? No, I'm joking.
I came here because I thought John was going to be here. That's the only
He didn't
reason.
come for me, okay? He came for John. Actually, Jay's filling in for John today. John has been crazy booked with his schedule, between his kids and everything, and John works about 7 jobs. So, yeah, you know.
I'm not going to try to fill his shoes. John's great at this. I'm going to miss him. Get back soon.
Oh, John, you hear that?
John doesn't think anybody likes him. I came here for John. He lied and said that you were going to be here. And
well, here's the thing. I always have to be here pretty much because it is my house. So you're stuck with me.
Well, cheers to John.
Cheers
man.
to John. How about that? Yeah. Let's see. Wow, look at the color on that. Oh,
What are
wow.
you thinking?
Wow. This has to be up there in the top at least 3 beers I've had doing this podcast. This is fantastic, man. Thank you for bringing it.
It tastes like Coors Light a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So, Jay, tell me the story, man. Where were you at District 96 recently? That's what it was?
Yeah, I took a ride up there. Actually, I didn't even know they were doing this collab, and I ran into an old friend, some beer guys, and he told me that you can grab some cans of it. I didn't want to drink too much, drinking 10%.
Is this the one that they just released that day?
They released it that day,
wow,
actually.
so you got lucky timing there.
Yeah, he told me about it. Otherwise, I probably would have walked out,
Awesome.
without it. But I already had a few beers, so that's why I got some cans and figured I'd bring it back.
How many did you get?
How many cans did I get?
Yeah.
I got a couple, but
Yeah?
I'm going to give them to John instead of you this time.
Oh, that's all right. John. You hear that? The love. But we do miss John, yeah, so. But anyways, tell me, District 96 is awesome, man. I love the food there at the Burger Loft. Those guys, they're on fire.
Cool space. It's never usually super crowded. Sometimes it can be, but usually once you start getting up, what is it, 40 minutes for me. I don't know how far it is for you, but once, I don't know, it's just more space.
Farther.
They have really good burgers there.
Yeah.
Yeah, food's good. Our buddy Dom goes there all the time.
Oh, yeah, big Dom. Dom, he lives there sometimes, right?
Just when I'm there, he's not there.
Didn't you say you ran into someone over there? Was that another place?
That was at District 96. That was Donnie, who's friends with our other friend, Steve.
Steve-O.
Steve-O?
Yeah.
I don't know if he watches.
No, I don't know. Maybe he
Who
does.
knows?
Maybe, we post stuff, so hopefully he'll catch an episode or two.
But it's up there, District 96, one of my, favorite breweries in the area.
Yeah.
I think you guys talked about it.
Yeah, we have talked about it, and we've talked about a lot of the breweries in that area, between Drowned Lands and Tin Barn, and there's
all
some
good
good
stuff
spots
within.
over there. And Tin Barn is known to do plenty of collabs with District 96 as well.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool. So
yeah, it's in District 96 and Other Half. How can you really go wrong with that?
No,
Yeah.
you can't. And Other Half is just, John had mentioned he went to the Other Half in D.C.
Yeah.
And those guys, good for them though. They're doing pretty well with all that stuff. So, but yeah, this is fantastic, Jay. Thanks again for bringing it.
Oh, you're welcome. So do you notice I'm a little decked out over here?
Oh man, it's like I see it, I hear it. It's on my Facebook feed. The Rangers on fire, man. Looking all right.
It's very exciting for me because I'm a diehard Ranger fan for, I think, since like 1983.
1983. Wow, he's showing his
that's how old I
age
am.
right here.
But they're really exciting because
why Rangers though? Not the Devils, man.
So to be honest with you, when I was growing up, I don't know if other people know this, but like Sports Channel was the Islanders, Devils. You had to pay for that.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't know if it was my parents or my brother, that we were too cheap to buy it. And we started. My brother, actually, my older brother, started watching the Rangers, and this is going back with like you're not gonna probably know these guys, but like John Van Beesbrook and Kelly Kissio, some old hockey guys.
I remember Mark Messier. I'm not a hockey fan, so
that's in like 94 when they won.
Yeah,
but yeah, I started watching them with him, and I've been a fan ever since. And it's the one thing I must say that's exciting that right now is that they're so young. So it's like the Rangers would get Mark Messier is an amazing player, but they would get some other star that would never produce.
Yes,
so they
like someone who was a little bit more seasoned.
Yeah.
Okay, like Brett Favre going to the Vikings or something like that.
Yeah. So
if you want to compare
for me, I'd rather lose with a young team that's working hard, and like right now, that's what they have. This jersey that I have on is Kapu is his name. See it? So
I'm sure he didn't get picked on when he was younger.
He's a Finnish player.
All right.
But the one line, it's called the kid line because the two of the players are 20 years old, and then the other one's 22. He's 20 years old. But full disclosure, like you're probably not going to know this player either, but you ever hear of Ryan Callahan on the Rangers? So
no.
He's a hardworking type of guy. This was his jersey, and our buddy does sports apparel, Tom. Shout out to Tom for his things.
Did you change the name?
Took the stitches out and changed the nameplate to the number, the second overall draft pick.
So I'm going to tell you a quick story, and we're going to get back into that real quick. So it's funny that you mentioned that, and this is not something we discussed prior to recording this. I had because I'm actually a Ravens fan when it comes to football. I had a Ray Rice jersey. If anybody knows who Ray Rice is, he's infamous for knocking out his girlfriend in the elevator. So and it's crazy because Ray Rice was so big into anti-bullying, and he did campaigns for it, and I mean he just seemed like such an awesome guy.
That video didn't look too good.
No, it didn't look too good. So I just had bought this damn jersey before that happened.
You spend a lot of money.
Oh my God! So the Ravens had picked up more recently another pretty damn good running back, Dobbins, and he. Had the same number, so I was able to get the stitching for it.
Same thing.
I brought it to the tailor. I said, "Can you stitch over this Ray Rice?"
It's a smart move.
Yeah, so it was a brand new jersey, and I was like, but although he was injured last year, which sucked, but anyways,
you make an investment, and
dude,
they're not
jerseys
cheap.
aren't cheap, man. It's like 120, 130, 150. They're getting up there nowadays. I'm sure that one wasn't cheap, so why not?
I might have gotten this from China. I'm not sure.
Oh God! But anyways, back to the Rangers. So that's how you became a fan.
They won in '94. It was a lot of suffering.
So he wasn't a front runner. He's been a fan since '83. So,
and the buddy I was just talking about, Dom, he's probably as a diehard fan that I am.
Yeah.
And we've been getting into a little, I guess you could say, not a debate, but if you pre-record your favorite team, you're a Ravens fan, correct?
Yes.
So now, if the Ravens are on and it's a playoff big game,
okay,
if you pre-record it, does that make you less of a diehard fan?
Oh, nowadays with everyone's schedules and everyone's got things going on, and between coaching, especially people who have kids that are a little older into sports, and nowadays I feel like we're so absorbed into our cell phones. Yes, you can watch the updates on your phone and this and that.
No, he does not. So. We have a text group of like Ranger fans, and he'll ignore it.
Yeah, good for him.
But I tease him about it because I'm like, this is a big game. You need to be present.
I know. It's tough, and it's tough to avoid. It's like watching a show. Like for instance, like I've been watching Stranger Things, and then I see things popping up on Facebook. I didn't get there. I didn't get to that episode. I don't want the spoilers.
Yeah.
Before this, Jay and I were like, "Oh, let's talk about some shows." I'm like, "I don't know. Shows are tough. It's a touchy subject because we don't want to spoil things for people. So we try to, we'll talk about shows we like. We try not to go into too much details because we don't want to have spoil. If we do have a spoiler, obviously we'll say spoiler alert. And
quick question, getting back to like your favorite teams and stuff. Now,
yes.
Do you bet on your favorite team? Say the Ravens are in the Super Bowl. Do you bet for them, against them, or stay away?
Here's the funny thing. My friend Joey, Joey Safion, he
is that BD?
No. Joey, the other Joey. Anyways, he had told me, and he was a big bettor, and he said he's a big Jets fan. I know that's why you would be a Jets fan. I have no idea, but he was a big Jets fan, or is a big Jets fan. So he said he always would bet against the Jets because it was always a win-win for him.
I kind of agree with that.
So
Because if they lose, at least you make money.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So
But I did not bet on the Rangers, even though. All right, I had my Ranger flag up when the series started. They were down 3-1 to Pittsburgh. It was a big game. They needed to win, obviously, because then you have to try to come back from 3-1.
Yeah.
It's a 7-game series.
Yeah.
I took my flag down, but Memorial Day was coming up, so I was
Yeah.
getting my American flag ready. But then my wife was shaking her head, and then they come back, and then they win, and I put the flag back. So I was just annoyed as a fan, but yeah, I'm leaving it up for the rest. I'm proud of them either way. If they lose all the rest of the games, they still did a good.
But
run.
we're looking all right now. So as most people know, we do pre-record these episodes, and today is a Saturday. So we have there's a game tomorrow. So we don't know.
They're up 2-0.
Yeah,
in this series,
2-0.
which is shocking because Tampa Bay is back-to-back Stanley Cup. They're a great team.
So we're hoping for a win tomorrow. Maybe I will actually watch the game tomorrow. Actually, or if
I-
they lose, then you're gonna blame it on me then.
True.
But
I took you to one. We watched it at a bar in Manhattan, right next to the Garden.
was it the Flying Puck or something?
Yeah, I mean, did you enjoy it?
I
or-
had a great time. I wanted to get into it. I still want to get into hockey. I would love to. It seems like a fun sport to watch. It's not like watching baseball for me. I hate watching baseball, but I like going to a baseball game. By the way, but I don't like watching it on TV unless I want to take a nap.
But as they say, Boomer. They always tell Boomer nobody cares about hockey. But I do feel the vibe of. I see people wearing Ranger jerseys, and it's kind of cool to see.
Say something like that in Canada. I'm sure you have a much different opinion. They live, they breathe, they sweat.
I was gonna say
hockey, I guess.
the only other place I say than the Garden to watch a hockey game is probably like the Forum, Montreal.
All right.
Because they're just
Have you ever been
crazy.
to a game up there?
No, I was at a bachelor party and I wanted to go, and just didn't happen. But
Yeah.
that would have been really cool to do.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, the fans are probably like up there. The fans are probably like Eagles fans here.
I think the one guy missed an open net and they burnt down his house.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty
Oh
intense.
God, excuse my football references, but I'm not a hockey fan, so I can only compare things to that.
That's fine.
But it's not like, who was his name?
Wayne Gretzky.
No, it was. Oh God, he was like a Colombian soccer player.
Oh,
This
yeah,
was
yeah.
years ago, and he accidentally scored an own goal.
On his own team.
And
yeah.
pop, next day, like they murdered him.
They
I mean,
did?
talk about crazy. Like,
Jeez.
that it's not as hardcore as that. I guess
Right.
that's those Colombians can be
We'll leave it at that.
yeah. I don't want to get shot. So yeah. But, I mean, as far as hockey goes and as far as sports games go, I mean, obviously you're a big hockey fan. How would you compare it to going to, like, a baseball game or something,
So I've had a couple hockey friends. I knew nothing about baseball.
Yeah.
They're from, like, my buddy Danik. He's a Czech guy, and he was like,
Yeah.
do they even sweat when they play? Like, he's like, it's so boring. I like baseball, but especially when it gets into the playoffs. But
Yeah.
hockey playoffs, I think, are amazing. I think anyone could kind of watch that.
So
But baseball, I
how
can
would
understand.
all right, let's step aside from actually watching it. How would you compare hockey fans to baseball fans?
It
Doesn't have to be baseball. We could say football fans. We could say,
I don't know. I think they're more loyal, but like the Yankee, like when the stuff that just happened at Yankee Stadium with the fans, like I don't know what. It's just
Yeah.
different. I don't know. It's a tough. It's a
So
tough
when you
question.
see, if you're wearing, because you're a Yankee fan,
Yeah.
so if you're wearing a Yankee jersey or hat or something, and you see someone else or someone comes up to you that's a fan, do you feel that you get a little bit different reaction when you're wearing a Ranger jersey with someone who's a fan?
Yes.
Is there more love from
Yes,
one?
because especially when I was in high school, nobody they just knew me and my brothers as the hockey players. So like,
Gotcha.
if you got free tickets. It was like call us.
So basically, it sounds like because it may not be as popular to the masses, when you do find a fan, they're a little
You
bit
bond.
more. Yeah, there's a little bit more love there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
So maybe like with John, maybe we can get him. I could try to get some, not for these playoffs, obviously, but maybe next year I could get some tickets. You could go to a game in John.
What was I saying the one time? I want to go to a game. I want to go to a game between you and Dom. One of you guys was supposed to take me, but that never happened. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
We turned John drinking bourbon, so maybe I can turn him into a Ranger fan.
Well,
I don't think he likes hockey, right? Or
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. And I wouldn't mind going to a nice bourbon bar nearby if there is one. That'd be pretty cool.
Pretty sure in Manhattan we can find one.
I think we may be able to, as long as we don't get shot.
Yeah, especially now. This isn't a segue to anything.
Yeah. So anyways, Jay, I've been wanting to talk to you about this for some time, and I really wish John was here, but it's Jay's first episode back. Since he's been on his trip to Bourbonland down in, that's what I'm calling it right now. He was in Kentucky. You were in Nashville. You were...
I'm going to let you struggle.
Memphis, yes. So, briefly, I don't want to talk about Memphis too much, but...
I'll summarize each
one
really
so let's start with Memphis.
That's where we started.
Graceland.
We flew into there.
I've been to Graceland myself. But I only went to. I didn't go inside. I just went to the pool. And
Same thing with me. I did the cheap tour where we
the
free
cheap tour.
In the morning. It was cool.
We were like, cool. It's got a tombstone next to the pool.
This is depressing.
Yeah. Every time you're swimming, you jump off his. His grave. Let's just dive in from here.
It's close enough.
I'm gonna jump off the E in Elvis. It's horrible.
That's pretty bad. Are you a huge Elvis fan? Or
apparently not?
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I only like the Suspicious Minds. We're caught in a trap.
You got a good voice. We talked about this karaoke.
Oh, it's okay. It gets better when I drink. At least maybe into my ears it gets better when I drink.
So we did Graceland on the way out.
Okay.
So basically, we flew into Memphis. I'll make it short. Me and Tom, my friend who I went with, I guess we were a little naive. Like, we knew Memphis could be a little, dangerous, meaning the city. So we, looked it up afterwards, and people were telling us, how dangerous it was, gang-wise. And
really? In Memphis?
I think the 4th most dangerous city in the United States.
Now, is it dangerous throughout, the area? Or, because everyone goes to Beale Street. I mean, that's the place to go.
So they said, don't leave Beale Street. And I'm like, well, we just happened to not because there was a lot of bars and stuff, but...
That's like New Orleans, too. They say the same thing about New Orleans. At a certain, when I went down there, they said, try not to stray too far. I
would say very, very similar to that.
Yeah. I've been out there. It's been a while since I've been out there.
But the food there, we went to Gus's. There was some fried chicken place.
Did you have ribs?
We had ribs.
Now, in Memphis, they do them, I think, dry rub, correct?
Yes. So you can get it.
With barbecue sauce on the side?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But the dry rub, it was delicious.
Yeah, man. I mean, they know what they're doing down there.
Rendezvous is the place. It's like a most popular place, and it's just so good. Nice. And the food comes out so quickly because it's been sitting there for hours. Grilling and everything. But
it's probably nonstop with those guys.
On Beale Street, though, there's also it almost looked like just regular people, maybe they came from their house, and they have grills set up. And I bet you that food, that's
girls.
Grill.
Oh, okay. I was like, is it like that now?
Well.
Ladies of the night. Are there ladies of the night walking?
We didn't find out.
All right.
But so that was Memphis. Then 3-hour drive. Not much to see in between. We thought there'd be places to stop over, look for some bourbons.
Let me ask you real quick. I feel like I asked you this, but I can't remember if you answered me or I have a horrible memory, which I do.
Or did I ignore you?
Last time I was in Memphis, it was one of the last places where you can actually smoke inside. Was there any? So they
I didn't see any smoke.
They abolished that. Okay.
But it wasn't that crowded. It was a Thursday night, and it was kind of depressing because we had bartenders fighting over a $4 tip.
Really?
It was kind of sad.
I think I remember that around there on an off night. It's an off night.
Yeah. It wasn't crowded, but and then we drive to Nashville, and it's like.
Tell me about Nashville.
So I was there 9 years ago for a bachelor party, and wow, that 9 years makes a huge difference. I felt extremely old.
Yeah.
Awesome bars, more people, more bachelor parties, to the point of annoyance, but such a cool place.
Nice.
We didn't want to wait on lines or anything. You could find a bar anywhere, and everything's walking distance. So, Nashville's awesome. I highly recommend it.
Now, Nashville, I would really love to go for the music. That's
so. If a lot of these bars have 3 floors, so while you're walking, you hear music to your left. music to the right. You walk in the first floor, you hear the band. Then you go up the stairs, there's another band with maybe a different type of music. Like some are like, super country, then more like Johnny Cash type style.
All right.
Like, and then a rock band kind of up top. And then they're really talented, and they kind of rotate. So if you go like during the day, like day drinking was what we were doing, drinking like.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy over there. I mean, like bands play like for breakfast and stuff, right? It's like nuts.
All the time. There's just music. It's insane. And I highly recommend it. Been there twice now, and great place.
Yeah. That would be why I would really want to go there. I went there briefly. I was doing a cross country trip, and I went there briefly, and I went to a barbecue place.
Was it Haddon's or something? There was
went to the Neelys, which were a couple that were on the Food Network. They're always lovey-dovey, and I think the husband was fooling around or something, so they're not together anymore. And but back then they were, and it was cool to check it out. I was like, I used to watch the show here and there. I'm a big Food Network freak, so
you'd watch Diners Drive.
Oh, yeah.
That's get good places too.
If you're ever doing a cross country trip, definitely pick up one of those diners, drive-ins, and dives guides. You could actually has books out, and you could see all the places he stopped at, Guy Fieri. And there's some cool places that you could be like, oh man, like, I mean, you do like the staples, like if you're going like Chicago, you do G&OZ's, you do all the fun stuff, the things that are really well known, but there's just some sleepers in there that, he's been to, and you're like, ooh, I got to check this place out. I mean, each area, from New Jersey to California, there's a ton of places this guy's been to, but. So anything else about Nashville that was, kind of...
So we're basically eating everything. We go to a steakhouse restaurant. We're eating a ton, drinking so much.
Yeah.
I don't have an iron stomach like some people do.
Oh, God.
Well...
We have some stories. There's a story that I'm going to embarrass you in a second that you have to share. But let's finish this trip up, and I kind of want to hear a little bit more about the trip. Because
next was Louisville, which is all bourbon basically, and we did go to Nashville Barrel, which is an awesome place too to taste it. They don't have a distillery there.
Yeah,
they mix it, get it shipped to them, and they kind of what would you call that? Like mix it.
Cocktail?
No, like the.
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm sorry.
When they get like MGP, like.
Liquid,
and they mix it like they.
Okay. Yeah, it's MGPs. Yeah. So they
blend it. They like do.
It's like a blended. Yes, exactly.
That was really cool. Good time.
Cocktails.
That's okay. So then we drove out to Louisville, and one of the coolest things it screwed up. Not that we had an itinerary, but you have to kind of have reservations for some of the tours and this and that. And some of the stuff that I learned there, I'm going to actually, when John comes back, I'm going to be here with them, and I want to do some of the things that we learned of how to like taste bourbon like properly. We'll do that on the future episode.
Cool.
But I actually got an email, and I went on a waiting line because Buffalo Trace is backed up for, it was like months. And I was like, it's really the one thing I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to come back there. And I got an email, and it was like, you're in. And
you got lucky.
I got lucky, but then we screwed up because we're like, so where do you want to eat? We're going to be an hour early. And while we're driving, you think of like borders with states. The time all of a sudden increased an hour. And we're like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, they have so many people. They're not going to let us go in an hour late. So I call them. They're like, let me see what we can do. They called me back, and they made arrangements, and we were fine. But she's like, it happens. Like business-wise.
Sometimes it can work in your favor, though. The one time I went to Panama City, Florida, with actually my buddy Joe, who I mentioned before, and we were running late. We're like, oh man, we're not gonna have any time to do anything or whatever, and we're on a road trip, and it worked to our favor because we're like, oh wait, there's a time zone. We gained an hour, so sometimes it actually works in your favor.
True,
but so you got there. Tell me more about Buffalo Trace.
It's just so cool. It's so overwhelming. It's such a big place. I think one of the things that I never really realized till I was there was the size of it. I mean, I knew it was big, but it was just crazy. But I don't know if you want to get into some of these details, but like the evaporation of the barrels, like from 10-year to like they call it the angel share, where it evaporates.
Yes.
Basically.
Can they record those losses?
Interesting. You got to get an accountant on here to. But they, like 18-year, it was like the barrel was like
I know
more than half
it's
empty.
crazy.
I was
well,
like,
that's, once
that's
again,
why it should cost more money.
Once again, we always say you got to put a price on the time, and also yes, that's a significant thing. They got to put a price on. Well, we just lost all this bourbon because it evaporated. Or
yeah,
whatever,
it was just cool, like seeing some of the bottles, like warehouse.
Yeah.
Warehouse C and warehouse H, and like these things that you hear about, and just.
But
like,
you didn't see
your
Freddie.
Head.
You didn't see Freddie.
He was not working. It was a Sunday. Yeah.
I want to have a drink with that guy.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's like a legend now.
So, yeah, Freddie, his family, he's over at Buffalo Trace. His family has been there for generation onto generation. And, so, I mean, he knows his
dad
he knows
worked
his
there.
shit, man. The guy, and he's just seems like such, if you ever watched the movie Neat, we've brought it up before, just to hear him talk, his wisdom, what he knows, what he brings to the game, it's just, I would love to just sit there and drink something, and
listen to him.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, he could just talk, and I'll just sit there like this. But yeah, that would have been cool if we met him, I guess. But there's always another time, you know.
We actually got lucky because he said it was the first week that they were letting people in because of COVID into the actual warehouses where all the barrels are. And the one thing that the girl talked about which was a little weird, was that was built so long ago, and you think of the weight. I forget what they said each barrel weighs.
Yeah, a lot.
Just like 500 pounds.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. And how many of them, and they're all above you, and I'm like, Jesus, this thing collapsed.
You don't have to wear a hard hat in there or something,
Yeah. But it was just neat seeing it.
Well, and it's an interesting thing about bourbon barrels themselves. There's no significance to the taste of the bourbon on the shape of the barrel. It's all for transportation.
Yeah.
Just how they
It
can
rolls.
move it. Yeah, it can roll. Yeah, exactly.
And we saw actually the barrels, like the new ones that then they get charred and stuff. They kind of walked us through all that.
Yeah.
So it was really neat to see all that.
Yeah.
And then after that tour, we had to go ahead. Like Tom drove, and he had to drive really fast to get to our Angel's Envy.
Oh God.
We just made it in time. We were the last tour, and then we had to miss a couple of them because of all the rescheduling.
So Jay you had a very good experience at Angel's Envy. We're not going to elaborate on that because Jay basically made a promise to John that he would. That was Angel's Envy, right? That he wanted to talk about.
It has to do with John's burn factor, and I think I can maybe help him a little.
So this
bit.
is something that we can look forward to the next time Jay and John are on. So we can go, because Jay kind of wanted to give us both a little bit of education on that. I think
you probably know it already, but
that's okay. I still want to listen to it. And,
it's probably not that interesting.
So, is there anywhere that you may regret that you go to Heaven Hill that you went?
No. So there was a couple that when we were on the highway, you see like this exit is Bardstown.
Oh.
And you saw it right from the car, and I'm like, I wish we could just stop here quick. And then,
but it gives you something to look forward to the next time you're there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be back, I'm sure.
So as I had mentioned originally to Jay, this was a trip that I had actually thought about going to myself. The only issue was there was things like Buffalo Trace that wasn't booked, and they were booked out. And he got lucky to get in there. And I would really, if I'm going to go there, I kind of want to have the full experience if I could. Maybe even like get a driver or someone that could just drive us from each place and just do the whole whiskey trail. And
they
all
actually
that
do
fun
that
stuff,
at some of the hotels. They'll give
like
a van, get a bunch of the people, and drive you to
it would
all
be
the places.
totally worth it.
Yeah.
It would totally be. Even if it's a few $100 and you split it within a few people, it's definitely they know what they're doing there. And
we didn't have, because we did all the other stuff. And Ken drove cross country, and he's seen some of that stuff before. I wish I had more time. And like Willett, for example, supposedly has like really good food there, and it would have been cool to see. There's just so many places you can't possibly do them all.
That's interesting, Jay. You say you would go to Willett for the food.
The food. Well,
Jay is actually not a huge Willett rye fan, correct?
Yes, the entry level one. I didn't think I liked any of it, but then I tried some of their more expensive stuff, and it was very good.
His taste is a little too sophisticated for
Unfortunately, I like expensive stuff.
Yes, yeah.
And it's not good for my wallet.
Why not? So you had mentioned while you were there, is this? I don't want to get into these topics if it's going to embarrass you, but I don't think Jay doesn't embarrass too easily, though.
No, I don't care.
Jay and I, this is a bond we have. Both we have very sensitive stomachs. Let's put it that way.
So I was a little nervous with the amount of drinking and all the food that we're eating, and of course, I was fine the whole time except for one time.
Yeah,
and I was in the most popular place in Nashville, in the most crowded Saturday night, and ate a lot of food. And basically, I wasn't going to make it back to the hotel.
Oh, my God.
And I had to go in the bar with 10,000 people. And there's more to the story, but I won't really get into that. But I made it. Everything was good.
So you had told me another story at one point about you and a bad experience.
So this is pretty funny, so I might as well tell it. Why not?
All right. Because in front of our hundreds of thousands of viewers.
There's so many people.
Yes. So.
All right, so this was... This, I don't know how long ago. I would say maybe 20 years ago this happened.
Right.
But I still remember it. And all right, so I'm working down in I guess it was in New Brunswick, East Brunswick, somewhere down there at Kellogg's.
Okay, you're working on it. All right.
I'm working with a guy that we work with, and we drove down on the Parkway.
All right.
And I didn't really feel that great going into this. And then he's like, first of all, it was like 100-degree day out.
Oh,
we're working, so
you're
I'm
nice
sweating.
and sweaty. Yeah,
I'm sweating.
Yeah, all right.
So, so basically, he's like, I want Chinese food. And I'm like, I really don't want Chinese food. Can we get something to eat when we're more up north, a little closer to home? He's like, I really want it. I'll pay for it, whatever. I want to go to this place, whatever. So I go, okay.
Oh, God.
So he gets this pork fried rice and something else.
Oh.
The pork was white. So I eat it because I got to eat something. I'm like,
well, sometimes pork can have a little bit of that white,
I'm like, whatever age I'm at.
Yeah.
So basically, we're driving, and we're going about, whatever you go, 75 miles an hour on the Parkway heading up north. Within 10 minutes, it was just I felt a roll. No, like a roll, like a baby was in my stomach, and it just, I don't know what that feels like, but, and I go, pull over right now. And he goes, there's an arrest area in 10 miles, whatever. I'm like, I can't wait. I'm like, pull over now. So he's like, all right. He pulls over. Now, I laugh because I'm like, can you imagine?
And this is the side of the highway.
This is on the side of the highway. Can you imagine you're driving and you're bored because you're on the Parkway driving for an hour, and you see this guy throw open the door. I was literally grabbing my butt cheeks, running into the woods.
Oh.
I had to do my thing behind some bushes, so everyone knew what I was doing.
Wait, you didn't dig a hole first?
I did not. The driver that I was working with was nice enough to throw me some paper towels. Mm-hmm. So I do all that. I clean up, whatever, and I'm like, oh. And then I turn around, and there's a guy from a corporation mowing the lawn 2 feet away from me, seeing the whole damn thing.
Oh, my God.
But you know what? I didn't care.
Oh, because you felt like $1 million.
It had to happen, and
and the guy's like, I gotta clean up this shit now.
No, I think it was on the Parkway property, but there was a fence right there.
I'm sure the paper towels were left there.
Yeah. So
they're biodegradable.
All right, anyway, let's
enough shit talk. That's funny, man. That is freaking funny.
So yeah, when I was over there, I had a recurrence, and it's not a good feeling when you're at least for us. Other people, nothing phases them.
I've heard some stories.
They eat ice cream, drink whiskey, and drink coffee, and get on an airplane. I'm like, how do you do that?
No way. Absolutely not.
I don't get it.
No, we have to mentally prepare for things, And
when I tell some people this, though, they're like, yeah, that stuff happens. It's normal sometimes. But I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. and I feel Jay's pain because I deal with similar issues with the IBS and stuff. So,
but technically, I didn't shit my pants. So
that is good.
I mean,
it could have been.
Did once,
it could have been that shit situation would have been a shittier situation.
Correct.
No pun intended. But anyways, let's get back to bourbon. All right.
So there's a Buffalo Trace product.
There is. Jay, I mean, you're on a roll with butter right now, man, because you brought a great beer. I mean, we got to have you on the show more often because
forgot about John.
Yeah. Can John bring some of these? No, John brings very good beers. Actually, I don't want to throw him under the bus for anything. But this is an awesome. I actually have a bottle of this sitting behind us, but I haven't been brave enough to open it yet. Jay,
what is secondary on that about?
600. Yeah, 5 to 6.
But it should cost $70.
Yes. Yeah. Around
actually,
there.
I think that's what I paid for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those bottles, if you see it in the store for $200, $300, buy it. I would say still buy it because you could at least flip it.
We talked about E.H. Taylor, which is that yellow label has a little tube. It's disappearing. I don't know if they're doing it by purpose, on purpose or not, but it's really hard to find.
Yeah, I mean, is E.H. Taylor the new Pappy, the new Rip Van Winkle?
Could
Is it?
be.
I don't know. It seems like it's getting rarer and rarer, and hence the reason why I haven't cracked mine yet. But Jay, to give you the benefit of the doubt, you cracked this before all that hype was there. I mean, really, you knew it was good,
Right.
but this is. Do you know which batch or anything of that with this? Probably not, right?
Yeah, so there's all different batches. I had it written down, but I can't
no
think of it
biggie,
right
no
now,
biggie. But let's just say it's probably at least 4 years, maybe
I'm not sure.
around roughly.
I'm not sure what batch numbers are
Okay.
and stuff.
Well, anyways, this has been so when I
So
first
it's called barrel proof too. I don't know if you said that or
yes, the barrel. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but it's barrel proof. And I remember before Jay kind of got me into the bourbon. I was more into the Scotch, and Jay got me more into the bourbon. And I remember you maybe giving me a little sip of this, and in the beginning when I first got into it,
You loved it.
yeah, and
And I did not. I thought it was a little overrated. And then we had it again maybe a couple months ago, and I go, ooh, this got better. Sometimes after you open the bourbon, and then we also said when it's low like this right now, like you almost have to drink it. So
yes,
let's
because
try
you
to
have
finish
worry-
it up because
Wait, do we have to, Jay? I don't know if I want to
let's
finish
kill it. Actually, let's talk about that for a minute while you're pouring that.
All right.
When you I was holding on to, I had a Wild Turkey 17 year that I absolutely loved, and I had a little bit, and I saved it, and it went bad, and I have had bourbons last for like so long, like 10 years or whatever, and I think when it gets down to too low, that it gets like oxygen in there or whatever, and it just went bad. So when it gets to that point where there's like enough for you're doing every little drop there, huh?
Hold on.
But how do you feel when you kill a bottle though? Is it a sad day, or are you like?
Depends. Do you have a backup?
I do.
Hold on, Jay, let me give you the. I mean, it's such good stuff. I want to be fair with it. Look at this. Look at this, guys. I mean, I have the bottle.
25 cents. 25 cents.
Completely turned over, getting the last drips out on this bad boy.
So now do you have to lay it on its side like the kill shot?
Yeah. There we go.
Let's do this.
Jay, thanks again. Thanks for doing this, by the
Cheers.
way, too. Cheers to you for coming out here and being a guest host because John can't fulfill his job.
I miss John.
Mm-hmm.
Son's missing without him. I'm not good enough. So we need to get John back here.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Oh, man, this is fantastic.
It's got a nice burn factor, as John
Yes.
says.
A burn rate.
Burn rate at a 4.
Yeah.
I can agree with, when I first got into bourbon, I agree with him with the burn.
Yeah.
And but sometimes like this one is like a good burn because it's smooth.
So did we say the ABV on this? 65.15.
It's 130.
So 130.3% proof.
Yeah.
Yeah, 130.3 proof. It's
pretty high.
65.15%. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty damn high.
Yeah.
That's solid, man.
What's hazmat? 140, I think.
Yeah, I think they vary though a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, it's up there. But this is solid, Jay.
darker,
This is awesome.
darker color also, right?
Yeah, good note. I mean, what are you getting on this?
With all E.H. Taylor, I always get vanilla, always, regardless. Let me see what else.
Yeah, you can get that vanilla, little caramel.
When we were at Angel's Envy, we were pretty intoxicated from drinking all day. And the guy did the same thing. What are you guys getting? What do you taste? I'm like, bourbon.
Bourbon?
He goes, do you get any hints of just straight bourbon?
I taste the alcohol for sure.
He was laughing. And then I got a free pour out of it because he said you're supposed to take. Well, we're gonna go over this stuff, so I won't ruin it. But I drank mine. I said, "Oh, I didn't know." So he had to pour me some
Tastes
more.
like Grandpa's cough syrup. Fantastic.
It's a little. It's beautiful out actually, and
yeah, we have a nice day today.
it's a little warm wearing my hockey jersey
Yeah.
and drinking this, but it does taste pretty.
Doesn't
damn
help.
good.
I mean, my basement stays cool for the most part, but I don't have like AC down here or vents or anything. But it stays cool for the most part.
Or do you shut them off because you don't want to pay the bill?
Probably that too. But yeah, this is solid. Yeah, I'm getting some of that. Yeah, definitely.
What else did you say?
Caramel.
Yeah. Yeah. But it finishes so nice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Get a little. You hear that? I actually got on the finish there a hint of cinnamon. Maybe I'm out of my mind.
I can see that.
Let me try a little. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't make me spit this out while I'm taking a sip.
Right, I just spilled some water. At least it's water on my shirt, and I didn't waste a bourbon. But yeah.
I don't know if we did any shout-outs at all.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. When John's the shout out guy,
yeah.
so at least you're remembering this because I didn't.
I'm not going to do his job though.
All right, so
We're doing a shout out to John.
shout out
'Cause
to
we miss
John.
him.
Thanks, John. We miss you.
I want to do a shout out to Dom for being a Ranger fan, even though I tease him.
Shout out to the Rangers. Good luck,
go
guys.
Rangers.
Let's go Rangers. Let's go Rangers. Shout out to District 96 and other half.
That's
All
right.
Snake everything. Shout out to Buffalo Trace and E.H. Taylor. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are fantastic. We love your liquid. And shout out to all the people that get stranded on the side of the road and have to take a dump.
I feel for you.
I
and
feel for you.
I would be laughing at myself too if I saw some guy clenching his butt cheeks.
All right, buddy. I think we're going to wrap this one up.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers, guys.
And as always, cheers to you guys. Later.
See ya.